Luke here with the Outdoor Boys YouTube channel, and I'm here clearing a 300-foot strip of land to make a road and a clearing. So I'm going to take this opportunity to show you guys all the best ways to remove a stump. So the first method for removing a tree stump is my absolute favorite, but it requires some forethought. You've got to start planning before you knock the tree down. And like most methods, it requires a little bit of digging. We want to find the main roots and expose those to the air. Once you find and expose some roots, then you start cutting them. But don't use your nice axe for this because you'll dull the crap out of your blade. Next, we're going to throw a rope up as high into the tree as we can to get as much leverage as we can. The tree trunk is like a giant cheater bar, and the higher up you attach the rope, the more leverage you get when you pull. I've done this a number of times, and often after you've finished digging, all you need is a little tug on the rope to make the whole tree topple over. But this one's got a bit of a funky root ball, and it's holding a lot tighter, so I'm going to use a come along. Look at the size of that root ball. Whew. Well, it ain't easy, but if you're looking to get the whole stump out, this is one of the best methods. Took a lot of doing, but we got it pulled out of the way. That thing weighs about 200 pounds. If you need to get 100% of that stump out of the ground, then this is probably one of the best ways to do it. Next, we're going to take out this tree and remove the stump using fire. And there's a right way and a wrong way to do this. All right, we've got a stump, and most importantly, it's dead dry wood, so it's going to burn up nice and easily. Now, if we build a bonfire around this, it's going to burn downward very, very slowly. If we can dig under it just a little bit and build a fire underneath the stump, it's going to burn up so much quicker. You just got to get the base of the fire low enough that the heat is going up the stump instead of down the stump. There we go. Only thing left of the stump is this root and this root. And you can see it got down deep. Well, burning out a stump takes a whole lot less energy than digging it out by hand, but it took us about 10 hours of burning, and we ended up using the entire tree plus a little extra as fuel to burn out that stump. So it takes a lot of fuel. Additionally, this isn't a safe thing to do in some places because of fire hazard, and there's a lot of laws about where and when you can do open burnings. Also, you really need an old dry stump for this to work well. If you try to burn out a green stump, it's going to take a lot longer. All right, guys, I have here in my hand the Extractigator, the Big Daddy model. And this tool is meant to pull out trees or bushes, root and all, and it does trees up to 3 inches supposedly. So we're going to show you how it works and give it a little test. Got a 2-inch tree here. You just push the bar forward, stick the jaws around, lean the bar back, and it grips the trunk really sharp. Turn it around. Ugh. Pop that little devil out in no time. There's a little bit of root left, but man, it got almost everything out. That worked great. All right, I'm gonna try this thing out on some of these small stumps. Weak. There you go. Oh, that just barely fits. Oh. Look at that. Good job. That thing beats a shovel and a saw any day. All right, so if you guys want to buy the Extractigator, I'll put a link down in the video description below where I got it. All right, here's a typical come along that you can get at Harbor Freight or Home Depot. And the rating on this one, I believe, is 2,500 pounds, which seems like a lot of weight, but it's not as much as you'd think. And if you're gonna use brute force to pull out a stump, make sure you use chains or nylon straps. Don't use rope, because rope will stretch, and if it snaps, it'll come at you like a giant rubber band. Chains and nylon straps don't stretch that much. This only works if you have an anchor point that's stronger than the stump that you're trying to remove. Additionally, I'm trying to pull this stump straight this way. It takes a lot more force to pull the stump sideways than it does to pull it up. A lot of people will try doing this with their pickup truck instead of a come along. And I've seen it where the chain comes undone and it snaps back and takes out the back window or the tailgate of the pickup truck. When you get close to ripping the stump out, it'll start to wiggle like a tooth. And this thing isn't even close to wiggling yet. I don't think we're gonna get it with this setup. This stump is only maybe 7 inches wide, and 2,000 pounds of pressure ain't enough to pull it out sideways. We got the same thing, except now we've got a tire underneath the chain closest to the stump we want out. And that's pulling the chain up at a 45-degree angle, which minimizes the amount of force it takes to remove the stump. Green stumps take a lot more force to pull out than rotten old dead stumps. And these are all very green stumps. So I'm not sure if this is even gonna pull out, but let's give it a try, see what happens. Now you can see what this is doing to my spare tire. It's just about to pop it. So I can't go any higher. This thing is still in there rock solid. For this technique to work, you either need a rotten stump or you need a stump that's been dug out a little bit. I mean, to just brute force rip out a 7-inch stump takes a lot of force, and this isn't gonna cut it. Look what happened to the come along, man. That's how much pressure it took to pop that thing out, even with the roots cut. Man, that is all sclumpus. So that tells you how much pressure it took just to pull up this 7-inch stump after we cut the roots. So if you think you can just take a logging chain and wrap it around a stump and yoink it out with your truck, you're taking a big gamble with your transmission and your chassis and all that stuff, man. Brute force yoinking out a stump is hard to do. FYI, sticking your chainsaw in the dirt like that destroys your chainsaw blades. That one was on its way out anyway, so I kind of did it, but you might want to use an axe instead. Ugh. Now I know a lot of you guys are wondering, Luke, why don't you just blow up those stumps? And you can. There's a product called Tannanite, which is a target practicing explosive. And you can buy it from Cabela's and other places and have it delivered to your door. And it's a 2-part explosive that you mix together. You dig a hole under the stump, you put about 5 pounds of it underneath there, and boom, you blow that thing up. Now there's a couple problems. First off, it's a bit of a legal gray area. In my state, it's a serious felony to have bomb making equipment and bomb making materials. And it's a little bit of a gray area whether or not Tannanite classifies as bomb making materials. And I'm a criminal defense attorney by trade, and I researched the issue, and I'm telling you it's unclear. So I'm not gonna mess with it. It takes a lot of explosives and a lot of digging to blow up a stump, because you got to put the explosives underneath the stump, and then it wants to just blow the dirt out around the stump without blowing up the stump. So you put like 5 pounds plus of explosives, and 5 pounds of Tannanite will probably run you like $80 to $100. So, you know, it's not cheap. It's might get you in jail. So before you try blowing anything up, definitely think twice and check your local laws. Well, all the techniques I've been showing you so far are great if you only have 1 or 2 stumps to remove. But if you're like me and have 50 to 100 stumps to remove, you're gonna want this.
If you want to remove stumps quickly and have fun doing it, it's hard to beat a backhoe. Even the largest stumps come out pretty easily, and you can use the backhoe to fill up the holes left behind by the stumps as well. But it costs about $500 a day, and it takes a little bit of finesse and room to be able to operate one of these pieces of equipment. A good alternative is a stump grinder. They can be as small as a rototiller or as big as a bobcat. They cost between $100 to $400 a day, and they can grind up a very large stump in about an hour. Stump grinders are really easy to use, but you do have to do some prep work and digging. You have to cut the stump flush to the ground, and then you want to remove any soil or rocks from around the stump to avoid damaging the grinder. Stump grinders generally don't get the roots, but they will remove the stump to about 2 to 4 inches below the soil surface. If you have a dry old brittle stump, you can use a chainsaw to make some plunge cuts into the stump in a checkerboard pattern, and then use a sledgehammer and some wedges to break the stump up and take it out. This method's still a lot of manual labor, and it'll trash your chainsaw blade if the blade touches the dirt or rocks, but it works pretty well on dry, brittle old stumps. There's many products online that claim to help stumps biodegrade or break down, and I've seen videos of people trying to use Epsom salts. However, I've not seen any evidence that these things actually work, and it takes many years, if not decades, for a stump to biodegrade. Well guys, I hope this video will help you get that stump out a little bit easier, save you some heartache. If you guys want to see more videos from the Outdoor Boys YouTube channel, don't forget to click subscribe and check out some of our other stuff. We have tons of outdoor adventures, including survival, camping, and travel adventures. Don't forget to click subscribe. We put out new videos every Saturday morning. I'll see you guys next Saturday morning.
If you like this video, don't forget to check out the Outdoor Boys YouTube channel, where we have hundreds of videos just like this. And don't forget to click subscribe so you can see other great videos every Saturday morning. And hit that bell button so you'll get notifications. Thanks for watching.